not over. Citizens, we are escalating the revolution to another level because the fall of Robert Mugabe was just the beginning of the revolution. The same perpetrators and kingpins of political suppression and persecution that misruled Zimbabwe since 1980, together with the ex-president, are still in charge. Mindful of the fact that Dambudzo, Idambudziko, ReZimbabwe, and citizens must rid themselves of that curse, where even heaven has withheld rains on Mnangagwa's ascent to power, because he lacks the sanctity to lead the great Zimbabwe, and one cannot wake up holding a gun claiming leadership without the scepter. The fall of the ex-president was one step going forward, but the ascent of Mnangagwa and Chiwenga on to the presidency is 1,000 steps going backwards, or without Robert Mugabe. And therefore, a luta continua. The revolution is not over, it's not yet Uhuru. The leader of the CKD campaign, Engineer Gustav Kativu, was arrested and tortured in custody for calling a spade a spade. The spade is claiming that in doing so, it was insulted. The leader's family is now under threat. My 18-year-old son, namesake Gustav Kativu, the head boy of Prince Edward High School, fled to America under threat from the military union. Aftermath of Mnangagwa killed my friend placard. In the aftermath of the placard that read, Mnangagwa killed my friend, people are asking, who is the friend? Though the CKD campaign leader has specific friends who succumbed to political persecution in Zimbabwe, my friend symbolizes all the victims of Gugurahundi. Political persecution, political violence in elections 2000, 2002, 2005, and 2008. Operation Murambatsvina, Operation Akudzokwi Nchiatwa, Rashiwe Guja, Tichaona Chiminya, Talent Mabika, and Itai Dzamara, among other victims who were brutally murdered, where Catholic Commission for Justice and Peace, among other investigators, implicated Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, Terence Shiri, and top-ranked military operatives as responsible for those crimes against humanity, whose names must be cleared of any crime by an international competent court. Mnangagwa for International Criminal Court. The justice system, this game is too powerful and has too many friends to warrant an independent trial. Engineer Gustav Kativu will lead the mission-critical campaign for justice, and while him, Engineer Gustav Kativu is coming like a Chaminuka, a Mutota in one person, who will not kill or will not die Zokmanya. And how will the citizens dislodge the military junta from power? Military junta in every corner of the world has no power in functioning democracy. The citizens have power. Through the services of civic society, rights movement, and political parties, signatures in support of the ouster of Emerson Mnangagwa and his accomplices will be collected to facilitate indictment at the International Criminal Court. Armed with those signatures, a date will be set for a march to oust Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa and his accomplices to face justice for crimes against humanity. The military junta will be ousted the Robert Mugabe way, because the citizens now are unstoppable and can move a mountain. The above is the blueprint in case the leader is arrested. Citizens will proceed as laid out, because Zimbabwe is a righteous nation which cannot be led by citizens with skeletons in their cupboards. And to the above effect, Engineer Gustav Kativu has appended the first signature to oust and indict Emerson Mnangagwa and his accomplices in the military junta. The signature form is available on sites.google.com/site/CKD campaign. So citizens with access to internet, they can download this form. You feel wherever you are, New York, Canada, Europe, South Africa, Zimbabwe. When we get the right numbers, we will give you the go-ahead. United Nations administered elections for Zimbabwe. Through bold failed revelations made by Robert Mugabe, citizens now know by fact that Emerson Dambudzo and his accomplices in the military junta rigged 2008 elections. And citizens will not entrust the leaders in a democracy, will invite the United Nations to administer and run the next elections on the format of 1980 elections. At an agreeable timetable, with citizens only needing national ID badges and not voter registration to cast their vote. If the military junta forces elections on the citizens without United Nations administration, then they would have stolen citizen rights to a free and fair election, which tantamount to a declaration of war against the republic to which the citizens would defend to the very end. Therefore, any talk or preparation of the next election by ZAC, ZANU-PF, or the military junta is fraud and treason, which must be stopped forthwith and without fail. It will be very naive for Constantine Gouveia Chiwenga to think that only him can lift the gun to defend his rights and power. So far, the leader of the CKD campaign has spent a month in prison instead of going on campaign. And therefore, rigging by jailing political opponents has already started. And the election was already rigged and unfair. Moreover, registration of at least 7 million voters requires at least 1 year time frame, and not the ongoing kia by the military junta. The ongoing purchase of 4x4 vehicles for traditional chiefs by Emerson Dambudzo just months before general elections is clear vote buying and electoral fraud. And with the world's record 90% unemployment, which Emerson Dambudzo presided over together with the ex-president, what level of brevity persuades him to contest the next election when he has already failed beyond doubt? Besides, with Robert Mugabe out and Morgan Tsvangirai indicating exit, the real contest will be among youthful leaders and not the political dinosaurs in the military junta. If you are Emerson Dambudzo, sitting on 90% unemployment, 38 years in power, with no currency, no cash in the banks, let me tell you one thing, and listen carefully, lest you say Marasta are not good. You cannot win a free and fair election unless if you rig the next election. And when you rig, we go fight. We love to fight. Fighting for our rights and liberate Zimbabwe in much the same way that Emerson Dambudzo and Constantine Gouveia Chiwenga crossed into Zambia and Mozambique in the 70s to defend their rights. Now is our time. And so be warned, Chiwenga and Mnangagwa, that running elections is not your deal, but a deal of citizens and United Nations. Unless if you want to start a war, today we will be ready for it. Kutonga kwa Rogamba, who is a hero. All the heroes of the liberation struggle did not live to reach the promised land. Because unlike Dambudzo and Gouveia, they were fearless and always in the battlefront. And when Nikita Mangena, Jason Zia Papamoyo, Herbert Chitepo, General Tongo, the heroes buried at Tembwe, Chimoyo, Nyazonya, Gonarishio, among other unmarked graves. Magamba, akafira mumasango, Brende, ndizo zakadzuka, zadai kupfuma zokumanya. Through the song Ndaranga Musiwa Tisia Gamba, Simon Chimbetu affirmed that true heroes died during the war. Dambudzo and Gouveia are not heroes, but villains who returned from war even without scratches. Because they were either T-boys for Robert Mugabe and General Tongo, respectively. Robert Mugabe and Mrs. Angeline Tongokara will testify. Or were villains who operated in the Beetle rear while scheming of future diamond riches. General Tongo is a war legend whose legacy does not even have a single carat of diamond to its name. But Dambudzo and Gouveia were non-entities or Tumutswiri during the war, now own vast diamond and gold mines among other businesses worth billions of dollars. A more befitting song to celebrate the coup d'etat would be Kutonga kwayo mondi Dambudzo mondi, kwandibaya mondi, nokusungwa mondi. Citizens sold a dummy by ZANU-PF. Citizens, you have been sold a dummy through the coup d'etat. And you have swallowed hook and sinker. Because the same thugs and political dispensation that vandalized your life and dreams since 1980 are still in charge. And so the revolution is not over, but just started. ZANU-PF is a basket of bad apples. And to pick out one bad apple called Gushungo out of the basket and start celebrating Kutonga Kwaro is foolhardy. Citizens cannot reward the kingpins of crimes against humanity and political persecution with the esteemed office of the President of Zimbabwe. Otherwise, our children would pick the wrong message and start killing each other in order to climb to high office. Dambudzo has been the ex-presidency henchman since 1980. And if the ex-president violated 1,000 citizen rights, then Dambudzo violated 1,000,000 citizen rights and cannot be the president by any standard. Dambudzo and the military junta are by far a bigger menace than the former president and must be removed at the earliest before they establish roots and waste another generation of our time. Imagine where Zimbabwe would be today in development terms if Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa and the military junta did not rig election 2008. Citizens lost 10 years of development, and to chant Kutonga kwa Rugamba after coup d'etat staged by those electoral cheats is very politically immature of Zimbabwe. Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa did not fall from the planet Mars onto Zimbabwe on 24 November 2017, but was with the ex-president from the beginning and on every step of the evil way, turning the vicious crocodile into a harmless lizard. Robert Mugabe fears the crocodile. ZANU-PF is afraid of the crocodile. And citizens fear the crocodile. But on 15 December 2017, Engineer Gustav Kativu Anna threw away the fear of the crocodile and literally stood on his head. Citizens, be of good courage, so that together we will turn this vicious crocodile into a harmless lizard and live freely without fear in our country. Garwe arilume, garwe garijwe jecha kwete banu. Uye kuriti garwe kurituniza nukuti kwandiri idrinyu. Significance of the coup d'etat and the ZDF. By staging a coup d'etat, ZDF have transformed themselves from the world's most disciplined army, inculcated by the military philosophy of General Stongo and Mujuru. But ZDF are now a rogue militia courtesy of Gouveia, who failed to understand that military rule belongs to the Stone Age or the Middle Ages and has no place in this day and age. And to prove its incompetency, the military junta is beating citizens who are selling their merchandise in the streets in order to survive 90% of unemployment, which was caused by the very same ZANU-PF to which Gouveia belongs. The military junta is giving jobs and projects to China, like Chiazwa Diamond Concessions, new parliament building Manhattan, Kariba power expansion is thanksgiving for the coup d'etat. ZDF have created a precedent for political instability associated with coup d'etat. .com/dp/1530753511, where ZANU-PF copied Command Agriculture among other ideas. Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa justice system. There is no fire in hell, but in Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa justice system, which starts off with a wrongful arrest, followed by torture from police departments, or ZANU-PF thugs where suspects die during torture while forcing them to admit to crimes they did not commit. In courts, suspects are arbitrarily remanded in custody for petty crimes, while the magistrates and prosecutors are a bribes mafia who judge cases on the basis of bribes. For holding a placard, which is a citizen right, like the right to education, Engineer Gustav Kativu was imprisoned in leg irons for 1 month without bail, tortured, and classified as a dangerous criminal, sharing prison cells with suspected armed robbers and murderers, eventually freed on bail after a struggle owing to the fighting spirit of attorney Job Sikara. The bail conditions are stringent, which require him to surrender passport and report to police every other day, just for holding a placard. The justice system of the lawless Middle Ages must have been more just than the Emerson Dambudzo justice system. The Rhodesian prison system, which accommodated Emerson Dambudzo and other citizens, had all the features of a modern prison system. But during Emerson Dambudzo stints as justice minister, vice president, and president, the prison system was transformed into some hellhole worse than the dungeons of the Middle Ages. Word number one, there are suspects in remand who have been detained for periods 5 to 10 years without trial, under the administration of Emerson Dambudzo, which in human rights standards is brutal and savage. Number two, prisons have no transport. Prisoners are transported in piles like timber. Number three, prison guards are animals who can easily beat inmates to death just over nothing. Number four, prisons are full of police, intelligence agents, and soldiers deployed by the government to spy on inmates. And the chances of political detainees like I was being poisoned are very high. Number five, prisons have no electronic body search equipment. Listen carefully. They have no body search equipment or metal detectors. And inmates are stripped nude in the presence of female jail guards in a system loosely called clerks, which is the sound made by the male gender part on hitting the stomach. When a nude inmate is ordered to jump up and down, the system is inhumane and uncivilized. Number six, courts have no medical screening prior to remand to determine if suspects require remand in custody or medical attention. Because suspects with broken limbs or serious injuries are remanded in custody instead of hospitalization, which often leads to limb decay and eventual amputation. Number seven, suspects with infectious diseases like tuberculosis share the same cells with normal suspects, causing serious transmission of diseases among inmates. Number eight, prisons are overcrowded due to petty crime suspects being jailed or remanded in custody, and there is no communication between judges and prison service to ensure that prisons are not overpopulated. Number nine, poor inmates rot in remand when well-off co-accused are out on bail. Number 10, there is no coordination between court's bail payment system and passport surrender, because bail can be paid over the weekend, but passport can only be surrendered on working days, which causes bail inmates to be unnecessarily detained. I was granted bail on Friday, but the passport could not be taken over the weekend, and I had to spend time in jail unnecessarily because the passport surrender clerk was on weekend. Just imagine, this is the extent of the Emerson Dambudzo justice system. Number 11, Harare remand prison is worse than the prisons, and suspects literally begin their sentence before being proven guilty. Number 12, inmates have no access to media and communication. Number 13, there are no drugs and doctors in prison hospitals. Suspects requiring medical review can rot in remand while waiting for a doctor. Number 14, prisons have no clothes, no linen, no blankets, no beds, no towels, no toothbrush, no toothpaste, no soap, no laundry, no water, no toilets, no food, no plates, no cutlery, no cups, no nothing. Number 15, inmates can easily starve inside prison because donated food is stolen and shared between prison guards, and food brought by family is barred in prisons to create a market or demand for tuck shops owned by prison officers. Number 16, blankets and clothing have not been washed for years and are full of fleas and lice. If you don't mind, my body is actually slittered with wounds of fleas and lice. I'm actually beginning to recover from home. You can see I'm scratching all over the body on wounds inflicted by fleas and lice in the prisons. which are called Dambudzo, insects by inmates in prison. Emerson Dambudzo is presided over the world's most incompetent justice system, and how can a failed minister be promoted to the presidency through military coup? It's only through lack of shame that a minister who has run the prison system like the dungeons of the Middle Ages can become president. The prisons must be closed. To run the jails on the basis of Mosha Inoripa, Haigari Lumijeri, or Vadalo justice system, where inmates will be integrated onto the job market to work from home and pay for their commissions, as well as fend for their families. Ndatenda, Nyabonga, Dagenza, Shukran Lakum, Toda Raba, merci beaucoup. I thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I invite 4 questions if I could read. Republic of Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe citizen signatures in support of the indictment of Emerson Dambudzo, Constantine Gouveia Chiwenga, Perez Shiri, and accomplices for crimes against humanity to face justice at the International Criminal Court in the Netherlands in cases including, but not limited to, Gukurahundi, political disappearance since 1980, political violence in elections 2000, 2002, 2005, and 2008, Operation Murambatsvina, Operation Akudzoku Nchiadzo, which murdered and mutilated thousands of citizens, including, but not limited to, Rashiwe Gusha, Tichaona Chiminya, Talent Mabika, and Hitai Zamara, among others. So, serial number 1, citizen name above 18, Gustav Kativu, identity number 83060708 C48, signature, this is my signature. This is the first signature I made. We will start afresh as citizens, clear citizens with no skeletons in the cupboards. We will rule. African polity is congested with Roman Dutch law attorneys and political scientists with no clue on technology. Because we have one problem, technology. So you need an engineer to lead Africa and navigate this problem. I don't know if I answered you well. It's a whole book. I cannot summarize it here in a press conference. The next question, from the ladies, I don't know. Please, I beg you. Yes, madam.
After experience, after your arrest, are you not afraid?
Not at all. Maybe you were not here. I am not an ordinary guy. Look at my hair, look at my garb. I am coming like a chaminuka and a mutota in one. I don't kill and I don't die zokumhanya. If you go to Wanamnangagwa na Chiwenga, the one on kana vachiconsulta spirituality, they were told pane munhu apiwa tsvimbo yemutota. Saka handiti zvongonzi handikandi kumudenga senhodo. You know why? Because if you throw me into the sky, you know what I will do? Ndinodonhera pamusoro pechingwe munhu aita sei? Handikandi mudenga. So before you throw me up, you must have enough cushion to sustain me. Yes. Any other question? I'm not afraid at all. Not at all. And you're not a bodyguard. You see, go to Chimnangagwa. I know any presidential guard, any my C10, any police, or any my friends, any my Zuku, Bakam guard. In I just walk. Like that. Nobody is going to touch me.
Yeah. Zimbabweans are used to a political system where they follow political parties. And yes. You're saying you're a movement. How do you intend to reach out to those Zimbabweans who are used since 1980?
Right. Madam, what I've done, if you go on the website, you'll find that there's a campaign team already which I have prepared. The campaign team, there are 10 campaign teams, one for each province. And you know how these teams, they're so different. Why? Because one, they've got this manifesto, two, they've got technology models. Tinema space shuttles, tinema elevators, many things that will showcase as we move in the provinces. So each team is made up of my journalists, my technicians, my artisans, my engineers, my pharmacists, in each team. And these guys, they will be explaining to citizens the easy or simplicity of technology. Kuti iwe kugadzira toy, it doesn't take you 2 minutes. Kugadzira ndege, it's only the fuselage. Zindege in 8 years from my ascent will be airborne. That's the campaign team. Because we are looking at jobs. At this school, we're not looking at slogans. Pamberina ningi, pamberina lokuze. No. Jobs, and these are the employment contracts. That's what we want. If you want a job, you come to the CKD campaign. If you want to be minister from anywhere in your background, you come to the CKD campaign, because my cabinet is open, is zero. You have more to gain from this campaign than my dinosaur is unpaid. Yes, sir.
Just to have some bit of clarity, who is we? That's the first question. And secondly, we have said that you are not as partisan as the previous parties, right?
Yes,
Agreed?
yes,
but your assertion then comes and you say your cabinet. Isn't that even much of dictatorship than we currently have?
Look, I don't know why you call it dictatorship, because I don't control the cabinet.
You said it's your cabinet.
No. Maybe it was the feast of the tongue. The cabinet, it comes from the citizen. And I cannot fire a member of the cabinet because he is coming on the basis of curriculum vitae. And within the curriculum vitae, there is a works contract which has got some benchmarks. Only those benchmarks can fire a minister. If you underperform based on the requirements, that's only way you can be fired automatically. I have no control on the cabinet. But today, you know, a minister can be kicked out anytime. This will belong to the people, selected by an independent job employment panel. That's all. And the parliament, maybe I didn't say it, the parliament will be based on African Dare, Idale. What was it like, African Dare, Idale? Dare, Idale consisted of accomplished women and men. What do I mean by accomplished women and men? It was made up of acclaimed warriors, acclaimed farmers, acclaimed medicinal practices, acclaimed traditional chiefs. And the top hierarchy will constitute Dare, the parliament, nothing else. And so that Dare has got powers even to chuck off the president. So if you look at my my peak on Dare, I have got in the area of economics, I've got John Robertson. In the area of sport, I've got Byron Blake, I've got Felix Tangawarima, I've got Moses Chunga, I've got Peter Ndlovu. You know, these are accomplished personalities. Then in the field of medicine, I've got Dr. Gulamatun. Then in the field of music and arts, I've got Dominic Benura, I've got Oliver Mtukuzi, I've got, you know them. These people have achieved on their own merit. You cannot fire them, can you? How can I fire Mtukuzi from parliament? Based on what? He's older than me, he's more mature than me. I cannot. This is the African Dare Idale. So you see how I choose the cabinet. You see Dare, and then the president will be by universal suffrage, the votes. Any other questions, sir?